1:15 on the 14th of the 4th, 2022. Yeah, so today was a bit more exciting, kinda, a little. Not much has happened, but at the same time, opportunities have opened up, especially the opportunities I've been trying to create. So I got an email back from the real estate agent, and they kind of were they they refused my offer of the business I wanted to start. So I was a bit upset. And then in the email it said why. It's because they're like, oh, your business is going to produce too much noise, which will be disturbing to the surrounding offices and other shops around the area. And I was thinking, wait, why is my business going to be too noisy? And then, I guess this is where you're going to find out what the business is. And then I realized, I told them it's a recording studio, which it is. And they're like, so they're probably thinking a recording studio where like bands come in and jam out and all that stuff. And that's not the kind of recording studio I'm opening. And so I understood, the owner has the wrong idea of what my business is. So I replied with an email and I said, the nature of my business is actually a recording studio for interviews and podcasts, so that there will be no intrusive noise being produced from the studio, nor do we want to have any intrusive noise coming into the studio as well. And then I just told them, the main goal for the business is to become the prime location for journalists and upcoming podcasters or podcasters who want to host, any special guests, or for any upcoming journalists or podcasters that might want a well-renowned establishment to, shoot a few episodes, because I'll be providing all my professional equipment. And when business isn't busy, I'll be recording all my own content and my own podcasts and interviews and all that such. So I sent that through, and what do you know? I got an email back, and the agent was like, "Oh, after reviewing your offer again, we're happy to go ahead with the lease. These are our terms, blah 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 blah. Please provide blah 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 blah, and be sure that you can cover the cost of the deposit stuff." And I was like, "Oh hell yeah!" And I went up to everyone. I was like, "Yeah!" I was on the train when I got that message. I went to the guy next to me. Yeah. He's like, "Hey, what happened?" Okay, no, I didn't do that, but I was gonna. But yeah, the main thing I saw was like the door became open, was wide open. The legs were wide open, and I was ready to insert my essence into that door. Yeah, but yeah, of course, like when you look at the details of like what the terms and the offers and all that stuff come with, it gets a little stressful and all that stuff. But I don't want to stress. I'm just looking. There's that opportunity I was trying to create, trying to open for myself, and so I got to do what I can to make the most of it, because they were actually refusing me. They didn't want to do anything with me. I just look like some random whatever, some kid trying to get a cool shot. But I gave them a better insight of what I'm about. I haven't provided my business plan yet because I still haven't written it. I would love some help with it, because I don't know, man. Like I don't. I don't know. It's not my strong point, but whatever. I'm gonna do it tomorrow. It's gonna be at least half done tomorrow, and a little bit tonight. I'm gonna do bits and pieces of it tonight. I've already, like I said, I've already not created, I've already written up a lot of details, following the templates of examples. It's just I haven't begun writing the business plan that I'm going to present to, investors and all the like. But yeah, that's the main highlight of the day, getting one step closer to the edge, and I'm about to break. But yeah, more things happen, I guess. I bumped into a old friend, and I forgot that he likes to run his own business as well. Like, he's had online shops already, and he's been pretty successful. And then he's like, "Oh, what are you up to?" And I'm like, "Oh, I just told him what I was up to and what's been going on." And then as soon as I was talking about me opening a business, he's like, "Yeah, man, that's good, bro. You should definitely do it." And he was keen because he knows. He said, "I'm happy to hear that you're doing this, And I said, "Yeah, of course, man. I gotta do it." He's like, "Yeah, like, you gotta take risks in life." Yeah, that's what he said. He said, "You gotta take risks in life." And I was like, "I agree," because we both understood. You don't take risks in life, you're just gonna stay stagnant, or you're just gonna have that slow growth that doesn't need to be slow, depending on how much you're willing to put on the line. But he understood, the power of taking life in your own hands and, maybe staking a bit. I'm staking a lot, and I gotta definitely find a lot of people to stake me, because even though I do have the lease being offered to me now, they want 6 months deposit, 6 months of the rent as the deposit. And right now, I don't have that kind of money. I know in the long run I can produce money like that, but like not instantly, not in the short time that I probably need to. So I need to figure out how I can get that kind of moolah like ASAP before I lose this opportunity to get the lease. Because to me, I don't know, I can't explain, but I feel deep inside I need to get this lease. Like, my spirit tells me, get that lease, because once you get it, everything will flow after that. It's just hard to explain. It's like messages from the universe, from spirit, telling me the lease has to be a focus. You need to get that first. Once you get it, then the universe will play with you. Then the universe will provide whatever you need, and more doors will open. But yeah, I did come across a lot of resistance that I'm supposed to meet, because when I met up with some of my other friends, and when I told them about everything's happening and how now I gotta find money for the deposit, yeah, a lot of my friends, it's not that they weren't supportive, but it's just they talked from the safe conservative point of view, which is fair enough, because everyone's got to protect what they've built and what's precious to them. And in seeing the conservative views, it was clear that me, in my current position, and what I have on hand right now, will not be convincing enough to convince the friends that I thought would help me out to give me the help that I deserve. Well, not I deserve, but like that I thought they would provide. Which is fair enough, because it doesn't mean that they're bad friends. They're just doing what they have to do practically to keep themselves safe, which is fine. It is what everyone will do. Because either way, when I ask them if they can help me out, especially in terms of finances, they're going to ask me as investors. And investors, they want to see what I have planned, like, what my business proposes, what kind of profits I project. Like, they want to see that it's like something will at least work. And given that I haven't really shown my skills in podcasting or interviews, nor running a actual business, they're not confident in me, which is fine. That's normal, because I'm a crazy cat. It's kind of hard to be confident in me when when it involves a wad of cash. Not saying that no one should invest in me. It's just I don't have anything good on paper. Like I said before, I'm not much of a in paper kind of guy. They know I have the fire to get things done, but at the same time, they want to be smart and not jeopardize anything on paper, nor jeopardize their papers. So it's fair enough. It was a bit discouraging to hear that from them, and also it was a bit discouraging to know that they want me to prove that I'm worth the money because what one of my brothers, um, like the Brotherhood brothers, not my blood family, but what one of my brothers was telling me is like, you're already trying to plan step C when you should be working on step A right now. And step A was like, you should be like making a podcast and trying to gain subscribers and doing all that, and like build up what you can with nothing first, which I'm I've sort of started a little bit. The problem is I haven't proceeded to continue with that all because I just moved out of my place, so my little workstation is not set up at the moment. um I did break up with my partner, and we were doing our little podcast together. We're still going to, because I still propose that we continue to be friends, and we are still friends. I know this is weird, but I'm actually at her place right now because when I went back to my parents' house to stay there, I know people that have grown up and live on their own. They'll understand. Like I couldn't live there at my parents' house. It's like I couldn't be there. It was too stressful. It was very uncomfortable. And given that I had a lot of past trauma happening in my old place, it was kind of hard emotionally for me to be there. I just didn't feel free, so I rolled back into the city, and then I asked my previous partner. I was like, "Hey, can I just stay at your place tonight?" And she was like, "Yeah, okay." She doesn't really get it. She's happy to be there for me in case, but like the truth is, like, it's hard for me to be there at my parents' place. It's like, I don't know, like I could feel misery trying to crawl back out from the depths as I was there. And even though I would be pushing it down and trying to, fight it off, a lot of my energy had already been drained trying to just focus on the building of my enterprise. So in my head, it made sense. Like, yo, man, if you're gonna spend too much energy trying to deal with things that I don't have to deal with right now, you're gonna find it a lot harder to focus your fire in where you want the fire to grow, which is building an enterprise and being free, and also just being in a better state of mind. So I knew coming back to the city was gonna make things better for me. And hey, when I rolled into the city and then I stepped foot on the streets, I can't explain it, but I felt relief. Just being in the street, just smelling that urban city air, I felt relieved. I was like, oh, finally, I'm back where I'm free. I'm back where I can just be who I want to be. And yeah, so I'm back here at the moment. But anyway, on with the enterprise. Yeah, I was a bit discouraged about what my friends were suggesting, because what they were suggesting was absolutely correct, and what they were suggesting was right and very wise. Telling me, you shouldn't be concentrating on step C. You should be concentrating on step A and build like from the bottom first. And yeah, I respect that because that's absolutely true. But there's one issue with that. something inside of me doesn't want to do it. I know a lot of us want to just rush ahead and go ahead, and yeah, I do too. But it's something a bit more than just that, like, stubborn desire. It it feels like deep in my soul and my spirit that it's what I have to do. I have to get this lease. I must get this lease on this premises, and I must make it work there. I have to kind of put that pressure on me and get this lease so that now I'll be in this, so that I will be in a state where it's like, all right, you're here now, you better make it work or everything's gonna go to ruin. I need to be put on the spot, because that's usually where I shine, when I have no other choice. If I have the comfort to fall back, I usually fall back to comfort. But when I don't, that's where people will start to notice the champion be and thrive the way he does. I think that's part of it. I think my spiritual beliefs also tell me that get this lease and make it happen. And so I will make it happen. My obstacle right now is not getting the offer presented to me, but getting the finances to lock in this offer. Because right now, they probably want about like $12,000-$13,000. I ain't got that kind of money right now. And like, if that's supposed to be what's gonna confirm the lease for me, like, damn, how do I make that? I don't actually have a stable like income to ask for a loan, nor do I have the business history to prove to the bank that my business is profitable and they should give me a loan. I haven't done step A or B, which is start from the bottom and create the foundation of the business yet. I'm trying to build A, B, and C all at once. So finances from the bank don't seem like an option right now. I need to use my will and my wits to figure out how I'm going to overcome this little obstacle and just lock in that lease. I will. So I got to put my ass on the streets and start asking like for anyone that can help me. There will be the few that will give me a little bit of aid, and that little bit of aid will be just enough for me to reach that next step. As long as I'm determined to find those little bits of aid, then the voyage can continue. Because if I try to rely back on the lovely comrades of mine who I wish to believe that they'll be there to support me 100%, I really don't have that luxury in reality, because I haven't proven myself yet. So I can't rely on that. I've got to make things work in a way that is, what am I trying to say? I've got to make it work on my own without the help. Well, of course, by finding the help, but not the help that I thought I was going to ask, which is fine. It makes it a bit more stressful, a bit more discouraging, but at the same time, it's more encouraging as well, because it's an opportunity for me to prove what I can do, what I can produce, what I can make, and what I can I said I already made the whole list. It's a bit late, by the way. Didn't I say it was like 2 o'clock? Yeah, I'm gonna make shit happen, so I just gotta prove to myself that I can make shit happen. And I will make shit happen. This business plan better happen. It's gonna happen very soon. In fact, when I get off from this diary entry, I do a little incy wincy bit, maybe a whole lot, who knows? But man, just talking about this shit's getting me fired up. I'm ready to make more moves. I already sent an email back to the offer, just asking a bit more questions like, hey, what do you mean by this? Blah blah blah. Does this mean that you're trying to leech me for this? No, well, I didn't ask anything like that, but I needed them to clarify and specify specific things they stated in the terms. Because I said once I get clarity on this, then I'm happy to go ahead. This should buy me the few minutes, or I guess the few days I need to work my magic to find this gold that I need, so I can lock down this deposit, and also get everything else prepared for the next step as well. Yeah, I guess today one of the main things I had to deal with is, I don't want to call it the discouragement, but that's the way it felt. It's like I know how everyone feels when they talk about, when you're trying to come up, everyone's against you and no one's gonna support you and all that. It's pretty much what was happening today. I felt that people weren't willing to reach their hand out and assist. Well, not the people you would expect. So I guess, when people always talk about their come up stories, they're always like, most of my peoples, they weren't there for me. I had to come up on my own. I understand that now. It's like, it's not that they're not there to help you. It's that we have too much expectation that the people that we love and we invest a lot into would return it back. Which is nothing wrong with them. It's just I expect too much, or we expect too much, and it kind of breaks our heart. But it's also a good wake-up call to be like, hey man, you gotta remember, everyone's just a human, and they need to do what they need to do to protect themselves. And so I don't feel bad about it. It's just a nice wake-up call. I'm just like, I have to take that option out of my mind. Like, no, that option's not there right now. It will be there at a different time. That option where the homies are going to be down for something, that's for a different situation. I just haven't figured out what situation yet. But in general, I gotta make this come up my own, and I gotta string what assistance I can on my own. So I understand what everyone talks about during the come up, like no one around them helped. I think everyone, when they talk about it, they talk about it in a bitter way, like, oh man, fuck everyone, they didn't even help me, blah blah blah. I don't want to be like that. I just want to see the wisdom that I can get from this, and understand that everyone's just protecting themselves, which is normal. And hey, I am pretty crazy, so people don't usually get involved in what I do because it is risky, but not in a bad way. Well, I mean, this enterprise I'm doing is not a bad thing, but forget that. I was about to explain some history that is, none of your business. But yeah, there was something else I was supposed to explain today. The supporting team that has been supporting me so far, I didn't get to interact with them that much, but I did show them the email, like the slight offer of the email, and they're all happy and proud. They just gave their little words of encouragement, and my brother was pointing out like, hey, make sure that you're aware of this, ask them for this. And that's why I have the inquiries as well, like, yo, I need to make sure of this, like, because he wanted to make sure like that everything was going right. Like, for example, that I was going to be paying the bills, because the owner said that the owner's sorting out all the bills and I just had to pay the owner the money so he can pay for the bills. But we want it so that I pay the bills under my name, so we can sort out the tax on that and shit. Just little details like that, just making sure we're not getting milked for little things, and I can get the benefits that I deserve. Yeah, so that was helpful. It was a little bit stressful looking into those little details, but it's part of the journey. Make sure that I don't sign the wrong kind of contract. But so far, everything is starting to look better. And yeah, I swear there was one thing I'm supposed to mention that I forgot. What was it? Is it something to do with finances? Because finances is the biggest problem right now. What was it? I don't remember. If I remember it tomorrow, I'll chuck it in. But so far, I'm gonna touch and tamper with the paperwork a little bit, so this business plan will get closer to its complete fruition. But other than that, things are moving ahead, and it is exciting. It's still kind of surreal to me that I'm actually doing something like a traditional business. It's not the same as other businesses I've done, like a traditional business with like an actual like premises, and now I gotta prove to like these people, to investors, to the bank, this, like, before I never cared about trying to like prove anything to these guys, but now it will be very helpful if I do. And it's like, damn, this is like a different kind of game. I used to play things the way I like to play it. I used to make my own rules, but I kind of got to play to their rules first. But once I've got my foot into the industrial world, then I can start making the rules that I like. Soon. Then I'll dance. Then I'll paint. Fire. And water and earth and wind and all the lovely other elements. And like ghost type Pokemon and poison type Pokemon. Ooh. I love ghost type Pokemon and poison type Pokemon. That's more my style. I'm into all that technical status kind of shit. Not status like if you're famous, but like negative buffs and statuses and stuff. It's cool. Anyway, that's a bad tangent to follow on. Let's conclude. Diary number 5? I think it's 5. Signing out. Blech.